So moving on to a different kind of filmmaking, you worked on Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Of course, the problem here is that with much of it being CGI, the editor is not presented with material, as it were, complete or intact when you start cutting, and that's a very convoluted process, as I understand it. Maybe you could talk a bit about that kind of work and how you came to terms with it.
It was the first time where there was such a major contribution of visual effects work involved, and the characters had to interact. And it's the nature of filmmaking now, or for visual effects movies like that, that the sheer time it takes to manufacture a shot, say, of a digitally made dragon in this case, or a ghost, or flying on a broomstick, whatever, is such huge time. You're talking about perhaps 6-9 months after what we call the plate or the background element, the first stage of photography is completed. And we have to, if you like, block out those shots in terms of lengths and values very early on. In fact, there was one sequence in that film which involved a spider being hopped around in the classroom and the children interacting, going up kids' sleeves and so on and so on. And of course on the set they shoot this with somebody holding a tennis ball for an eye line to move or whatever.
Right.
And we had to not only plot out exactly what those movements were shot by shot, but I had to time the backgrounds to work. Now, the common mistake for film editors is that we're so used to pruning things down and evaluating them to their minimum value.
From the evidence you have in front of you.
Because you're so used to making a value judgment. Oh, I need to spend that long on this shot. That's it. Okay, it's done its job now. Off we go. With a visual effects movie where that key element is not there, you've got to make a very, very informed guess. And by the time the information goes in and the computer artists have developed the shot, you might then see a construction of the scene with 3 or 4 shots in and think, oh my goodness, you know, I've got these all wrong, and they're generally undervalued. In fact, I had a scene like that. I privately had a meltdown because I thought, no, I've got these values all wrong. If I'd known it was going to be doing that, I would have stuck around longer. And in the case of that scene, I sort of had to wriggle out of it by removing other shots so that there was a sort of continuity in the digital thing, and that kind of worked. But it's a one-way street.